Well, I'm going to do this psychic read on Daniel Robertson, and I want to start where I left off. Okay, so yesterday I pulled out three cards. This is not going to be long. The Five of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. Okay, so he was feeling some kind of regret, some kind of failure. Okay, so this was on part one, this is part two. And then something happened where he felt hope and he found something. Okay. Daniel Robertson. Okay. Calling on my ancestors, my angels. Show me what I need to see for Daniel Robertson. So he went out there and he's a hydro. Hold on, I always say this wrong. Hydro. Uh, okay, Daniel Robertson. I did put his picture up, you guys. Now they did find some remains. It wasn't his remains, okay? They keep showing me his Jeep. Okay, I feel like his Jeep was staged. Okay, his Jeep was definitely staged. Just saying. Okay. Now, we all know he was 24 years old. He was last seen leaving his job site in Buckeye, Arizona, near the Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road on June 23rd of 2021 around 9:15 a.m. in his 2017 blue and gray Jeep Renegade headed west towards the desert and reported missing later that day. Okay. Um, and we know he has not been found. Okay. The timeline is off here. They're saying 2 years. Okay. And then there was a witness, and the witness was a cop. Okay. Um, Now this timeline is not making sense to me. His Jeep was okay. So he left the area. This is when they said he was last seen. Somebody actually seen him leaving the area. So somebody was watching him. I already told you guys that. Now his Jeep was found crashed in a ravine, but there was no body. Okay, so where's his body? Okay, or where is he? Um, Now they pinged his cell phone. Okay, at the they said the crash site around 10:05 a.m. The phone stopped pinging at 10:30 a.m. So between 10:05 a.m. and 10:30, what happened? Okay. Um, wow. Then there was a witness that identified his name as Bill. Okay. Bill claimed he saw Robertson later that morning around 11:30. So how did Bill see him at 11:30? The police report, however, cast suspicion about the witness. Claimed to the witness claimed to have a law enforcement background. So the person that witnessed him at 11:30 had a law enforcement background. So where's Daniel Robertson? Okay, where's he at? Nobody knows where he's at. Did he just vanish? I don't believe he just vanished. Vanish. They did have a candlelight. Robertson family has hired a private investigator to look into this case. A candlelight vigil is planned for June 23rd, the anniversary day of the disappearance. It will always be recognized to the families of the other missing persons. So who other but missing persons? Because it says will also be recognized it will also recognize families of other missing persons. So is that just missing persons in that area or just other missing persons that are out there that are missing? Okay. What happened? This is a statement from the family. What happened to our family happens to many families. So we are not alone. David Robertson's family said families will get their story out there because those who are participating in the visual will also hopefully share their stories as well as Daniel's story. So what is Daniel's story? Okay, in this video is for entertainment purposes, but we're going to use discernment here. Okay, so let's get into this. And once again, hold on. Now, he studies the water and the rocks. Okay, a hydro. I said it yesterday. Hold on, because I never even heard of this. So we know he studies the rocks and the water. Okay, so let's go into this. Hold on. Now, there's a lot of speculation out here about him. Now, I did some research and there's like different stories. So I don't know what story to believe, okay? But we'll let the cards talk for us. He's a hydrogenealogist, okay? So the car was staged. He has a beautiful smile. Now, I seen a picture of a Caucasian girl that he was dating, okay? So I don't, let's see if she has anything to do with this, okay? Because what I seen was a Caucasian girl with blonde hair. Okay, so this is who he was dating. Maybe they broke up. I don't know their story, okay? Now, detectives learned from the family and friends and co-workers that Daniel's behavior in the days prior was not like himself. I said this yesterday, right? But there's no indication that he wished to harm himself. I don't feel like he harmed himself. I just feel like somebody was watching him. Okay. Now his story came out. His story, Daniel's story, broke out after the vanishing of Gabby Petito's disappearance. Okay, and they were really focused on Gabby Petito's story more than his story. Okay, now all I can tell you is that I've been working very hard. His family saying they've been working really hard. They hired a private investigator. He's my son, and I'm definitely not leaving him behind. David is his father. I know my child. I don't think he just take off like that. He said, okay. I don't believe he took off like that. I think there's more to the story. So let's find out, okay? And I will show you his picture. And I did post his picture yesterday. And I'm looking at it. This boy was very free spirit, okay? And he loved life. But the time, they said 10:05 to 10:30. Okay, so something occurred between 10:05, and this is what they're saying in the police report. Okay, 10:05 and 10:30. Okay, so did somebody turn his phone off? Okay, because I don't see him turning his phone off. Okay, I just don't see that. He's young. Okay, young kids don't just turn their phones off. Okay, and I looked at his pictures, and obviously it looked like he enjoyed life. But his Jeep was definitely staged because his Jeep was missing, and then it was brought back to the area. Okay, so that's kind of weird. Okay, and the time and the gap, and then the supposedly police person or person said they were a witness, eyewitness was a police person. Um, let's see what we get. He's still out there. He might be. I don't know. But every photo that I see from him, he's enjoying life. Like this one. Okay. He undercovers. This is him. Okay. He's just enjoying life, right? Free spirit. Um, doing something that he loves to do. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful place. Okay, in Arizona. And then here's a picture of him and his father. Okay. And I seen the interview with his mother and father. So let me go to his mother, Daniel Robinson's mother and father. Um, and I always try to read their body language, or I try to pull their energy by looking at them to see if there's any deceit um, from the mother and father. Okay. Now, if they hired a private investigator, um, then they should have some information. Okay, so I feel like there's some information. Um, let me see if I can find a video of his parents. Okay, so the father speaks out. Okay, so I'm gonna play this.
Arizona, the search for a missing 24-year-old geologist continues well into its 4th month. Daniel Robinson left work at the Arizona desert near the city of Buckeye on June 23rd, but has not been seen or heard from ever since. I'm joined now by David Robinson, Daniel's father. He's in Arizona where the search for Daniel continues. David, thank you so much for taking time to talk about your son. Of course, this is troubling for everybody. Tell us about Daniel, what he was like. Give us as much information as you can about him so we can get a sense of who he is.
Thank you for having me on. Daniel, he's a 24-year-old geologist. He graduated out of College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina. Upon graduating, he came out to Arizona to take his final class upon graduation in Flagstaff. He was able to land a job straight out of college in a job called Matrix as a field geologist. He was out on his job at a work site out there in the remote area of the desert with another gentleman from a different company where he went missing. I was told that he drove off from the work site, and my son have never been seen again. However, his vehicle was found on July the 19th by a rancher who was out there chasing his cattle. That was some 2 to 4 miles away from the work site. We recovered that vehicle. There's some questions about the vehicle, the state it was in, some of the evidence that was there, my son's clothing, for instance, everything that he's wearing. But my son still remained missing. And right now I came out here from Columbia, South Carolina to make sure that my son has been searched for. And to do that, I had to stop all searches. And I'll continue to do so.
Okay, so obviously he was out there with somebody, okay? So, and he worked for a company, which I seen that, okay? So, who was the person that he was with, okay? And what happened? Okay, what happened? Okay, let's pull the cards and see what we get, okay? Okay, now what I'm seeing, wow, shit. Let's see what we get for Daniel. Daniel Robertson, give me true discernment. True discernment for Daniel Robertson. Daniel Robertson. I just feel like I need to just pull a card. Oh, wow. We got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Now, it's interesting because yesterday I did talk about Ma'at, right? Ma'at is wisdom, truth, justice, and all that, right? But we got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So there's no justice here because he's missing, okay? Hold on. You guys, I think I know what happened, but I gotta be careful what I say here, okay? Wow, this is crazy. Because I feel like the father has some information, but not all. Okay. So when the Six of Pentacles come, it's an unpaid debt. Okay. Who's this unpaid debt to? Is this the unpaid debt to the company? Wow. One side is charity and one side is self-care. So, and this is a different deck. Okay. The Haunted House. Okay. I was drawn to the Haunted House for some reason. So if it was an upright, it's somebody that's giving, receiving, sharing, wealth, generosity, and charity. But obviously this didn't happen. So the person that he was with, right? Did the person when he was with, did they feel like that he had an unpaid debt? But what was his unpaid debt? I'm confused here, okay? Self-care and one-sided charity, okay? Now, charity can mean a lot of things here, okay? This could be a financial. This card reflects on a state of financial security, generosity, and suggests that you can generously use your wealth and your abundance for the benefit of others. But this is not what it seems because it's in the reverse. And to me, he seems like he's very generous. Okay. So did they find some gold? Or they found something and the other person was like, look, I'm keeping this. Okay, just saying. Who was the other person that was with him? And you see on the other side, she's holding the scales. And the scales are tipped. Okay. So somebody felt like he owed them debt, some kind of financial debt. But it's interesting because he was happy of whatever he found. Okay. So it was a one-side charity. So did they find something and they say, okay, one person said, because he was out there with somebody. Okay. I didn't know this. The father said this. So did somebody say, okay, you have this amount and I have this amount? Because there's something that's obviously that was found. Okay. This could be a treasure chest of information. This could be a certain kind of crystal, stone. Okay. Because you see how she's leaping or he's leaping with this Nine of Pentacles. Like they hit the jet. Like, remember I said like you're digging for gold and you find something and maybe this person did not want to split what they found. Okay. But somebody was definitely watching him. And if you see in this card in the Haunted House Tarot, there's a lot of rats. Okay, rats. So when we see rats, we think of people that watch you, okay, and deceive you. Okay, rats. Okay. They're all around his feet. Like they're just like, give me, give me, give me. Look at this. If this was in the upright position. Okay, but this was in the reverse. So this wasn't equally, this is not an equal, like, say I found gold with my friend and I say, okay, you get 50 and I get 50. Okay, there was debt here. Okay, somebody felt like they were owed something. Okay, And this is crossing the 9 of Cups. The 6, the 6 of Pentacles. Wow. 18. Let's see what else we get for Daniel. This is, I'm feeling like security, like true financial security, okay? But this is one-sided, okay? So whoever he was with, they felt like they wanted more or they wanted all of it, okay? Now, they staged his car. They took the car from the site. They staged it and put the car back. We obviously know that, okay? That's the truth, okay? What I'm seeing, I'm just going to say it. He was betrayed here. Oh my God. He was definitely betrayed with these 4 swords energy. Hold on, you guys. I'm seeing 818 is significant here. So something was bothering him. So he was betrayed 4 times. Okay, 4 times betrayed. This is in the reverse. The 4 swords. And the Chariot is here in the reverse, okay? So the Chariot would be the vehicle, right? Wow. You know, I don't have to use these cards. I think I'm just going to go on my intuition on this one. But I'm going to stay with these 2 because I feel like somebody picked him up, okay? And that eyewitness that supposedly been a cop, okay? He was burned out. He was stagnant. If this was an upright, he would have been relaxed, okay? But he was exhausted, burned out, okay? He had to focus when he got out there. But he obviously did not. That car was moved by somebody else, okay? This is what I'm getting. I'm not even going to use the cards here, okay? There's hidden information, okay, with the Moon card. Oh, my God. What am I seeing here? Oh, man. What am I seeing here? Okay, I feel like the timeline is off. I feel like somebody's okay. I feel like this is in reverse. So I feel like the day they say he went missing, he didn't go missing. He went missing the night before. Okay. A release of fear, emotion, and inner confusion. So he went missing the night before. Okay. He did not go missing that day. So that timeline is a complete lie. Okay, a complete lie. And there was him and somebody else out there. Okay, so I'm gonna get into another deck. I feel like I'm feeling a masculine. Okay. So the day they say he went missing was not the day he went missing. He went missing the night before. Okay. So that's why the timeline's off. Okay. And the guy that he was with, there was a guy that he was with. They went back and got his car. He actually got in a car with somebody. Okay. And the guy he got in a car with was another masculine. Okay. And they took him somewhere away from the site. Okay. Now, the masculine that he was with, I feel like he felt like whatever they found, okay, he wanted all of it. This is what I'm feeling, okay? This is what I'm getting psychically, okay? With this moon, this hidden information, he went missing at night, okay? Now the person's name could start with an I or a J or E, F, G, H, or I. Okay, could be the person's initials or name. Could be their first or last name. So he got in a vehicle, okay? Whoever he was with, this is what I'm getting psychically, okay? Whoever he was with, took him in another car, okay? He was removed from that area. And it wasn't the day that they said it was the night before. And I keep seeing twos, and I've seen twos yesterday with him, okay? So he did get in somebody's vehicle, you guys, okay? Wow. And they placed his car there. So the guy that he was with, okay, I'm starting to wonder if this was his job, okay? They found something there, confirmation. They found something that was there. I don't know what it could have been, okay? Could have been gold. I don't know, because they felt like they hit the jackpot, okay? Shit. So he was lured away in another vehicle, okay? The timeline is off, okay? I know they probably investigated they investigated the person he was with, okay? They're not giving us all the information on this case, okay? So he got into another vehicle and he went somewhere. So we need to find out where he went, okay? And I feel like he feels like he has been betrayed. Something was bothering him. Something he could not shake. It's like something was tormenting him and bothering him. And I feel like he felt something was not right. Okay, he felt it, and he still got in this vehicle. Now there was him and somebody else, and the witness, the police officer. Okay, it's police officer because I'm seeing an officer here. Okay, I don't know if he's retired. I don't know if he's still a police officer. That said about the timeline, they need to reinvestigate him. Okay, he has something to do with Daniel Robinson's disappearance. Okay, he was feeling something was telling him something was off. Okay, and he didn't go missing that morning. He actually went. They brought his phone back. Okay, I don't know. They brought his phone back to the scene. Okay. Now, they made him take off his clothes. Shit. Oh my God. They made him take off his clothes. What am I seeing here? Okay, 24. He was 24. 24. He was 24. So they made him take off his clothes. He was in his nakedness. But why would they do that? To humiliate him? What is going on here? And he got in a vehicle butt ass naked. You guys, this is crazy. Somebody wanted to humiliate him. And he had to be scared because he got in the vehicle with no clothes on. Okay. Now, did he take his clothes off before he got in the vehicle? I see him getting in the vehicle naked. Okay. And he was placed in another car. Okay. Shit. With this chariot. And they took him somewhere else. Oh my God. This is crazy. Now, there is an empress here in reverse. So he was dealing with a female. Okay. But she's showing up in the reverse. She's false. Okay. If he was in a relationship with a female, she's freaking false, may I say. Okay. Wow. Shit. Okay. She's false here. Did this female set him up? Okay. Shit. Where is he at? Oh my God. So they made him get undressed. They put him in a vehicle and they took him somewhere else. Shit. Now, I believe he was dating a Caucasian female. Is this a hate crime? Okay. Because she's Caucasian. And she's showing up in the reverse. And he got in the car. So somebody wanted to humiliate him. And this person I'm seeing in a uniform. Okay. Shit. This is not what I thought I was going to get. Okay. I am seeing something here though. And this is deep. And I'm going to say it. Okay, he definitely had a gift here. I see his age, and I said the letters of the person he could be with. What else am I seeing here? There's an empress involved. There's a female involved. He found something. And he reached out to her and she talked to somebody, and the person he also was with, because he wasn't by himself, somebody showed up in another vehicle and made him get undressed and get in the vehicle over an empress. Shit. And she has blonde hair. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Blonde or brown hair, but I'm seeing blonde hair. I was seeing blonde hair before I started this read. Where is Daniel Robertson? Now, I keep hearing a body of water. Okay, a body of water. The change is where they took him, and there that vehicle goes again. September, maybe we'll find out something in September. But he was transported in a vehicle. Is this a hate crime? Okay. I feel like he was dating this female, and maybe they just broke up, and somebody did not like the idea of him seeing her. Okay, I'm just saying, okay. And then also he had other stuff going on as far as at first he was feeling like he felt like he missed the opportunity, and then he got an opportunity. So he had to prove himself to this company, I don't know, to himself, to this female, this empress in reverse. But he was a gift. He had a true gift. Okay, shit. I'm not gonna stay on this long. The message of concern is when his family got the message that he's missing. Okay. And this happened at night. This did not happen in the daytime. Okay. Shit. Hold on, you guys. So whoever was watching him knew where he was at, but we need to find out where he's at. Now I'm seeing a body of water. Okay. I don't know if it's close by. Let's see what we get. Okay. This is what I'm getting psychically. Let's see. Let me spread these cards out. I'm getting a body of water. His occupation. Okay. So it did have to do with a female, and it had to do with his occupation. That's why he went missing. Okay. The occupation. The change was it how they transported him. Okay. The chariot in reverse, they transported him. Okay. In the reverse. This Empress was in the reverse. Okay. And this had to do with his occupation. And he was out. Remember, I said yesterday, he was out there all night. Okay. And this happened at night. So the timeline's off. Okay. So we're not going to go off the timeline. The timeline is off, and it's showing me his age. Now, somebody that also could have been involved in his disappearance could be 32 or 23. And I gave you the initials of the person. This could be the actual initials of the person. Yep, the courtship. They need to investigate who he was dealing with as far as his lover. Okay, the girl he was dealing with, she's involved here. Okay, she's involved. And what I'm getting, and I was getting this before I even pulled this, they tried to humiliate him, okay, by making him take off his clothes. Okay, I'm seeing somebody telling him to take off his clothes, okay, and to get in the car. And he was scared. He got in the car, okay. But this false female had something to do with this, okay. Shit. Now, this community where he went missing, I feel like there's other people that went missing in this community. He wasn't the only person. This is what I'm being shown. Somebody could be 23, and I definitely got 35 or 39 that's involved in this, but I'm feeling much younger, okay? Somebody much, much younger. There was a masculine and a female involved, okay, with his disappearance. And this is because of his occupation and his relationship with this female, okay? She's false. Somebody's very concerned here, okay? And this is his parents, his father, okay? His father's energy. I think his father knows more than what he's saying, okay? Something might come out in September, okay? Where is his body? Wow. Is he still alive or he's dead? Yeah, I told you guys, there is a false female and a false male. I'm going to say it. I was picking this energy up. This is August, okay? The false female, somebody he was dealing with, and the false male was dealing with This female was dealing with this male. Okay, he did not know. Okay, Daniel did not know that the guy that he was with, or the guy that came there, which I feel like is the guy that he was with, was dealing with his girlfriend. Okay, I don't know. Okay, um, and she's false. Okay, they're both false. Okay, um, and she's behind this just like he's behind this. Okay, now I need to find out where his body is. Okay, show me where his body. I'm seeing water. Okay, the body of water. Where's Daniel Robertson? Is he alive? They had expectations. The girl had expectations on him, but where's his body? I need to know where his body is. Yep. Hi, Kay. Okay, so the police officer lied. Okay, the police officer lied. Okay, that was a made up story. He went missing the night before. Okay, shit. Okay, now I feel like he's in water. Okay, I don't feel like he's alive. Okay, and this video is for entertainment purposes, but we're gonna use true discernment. Okay. Yes, he's the one that disappeared in Arizona. He was out there. He was a hydro genealogist. He was studying rocks and water. And there's a female that's involved with his disappearance, and there's a male involved with his disappearance. The car was staged. They brought the car back. Okay, they staged it. I mean, and they're freaking stupid to think that nobody would figure this out. And then the police officer lied. Okay, the ages that I'm seeing is 24, which is his age. I'm seeing 25, 28. Okay, and I was seeing twos. Okay, two. I kept seeing two yesterday. Go back to my video yesterday. Two. Okay, I don't feel like he's alive, you guys. Okay, this is what I'm picking up. And that police officer that said that he's seen him at 11:30, he did not see him at 11:30. Okay, and his phone, they brought his phone back to the site. Okay, they took his phone from him and brought his phone back to the site. Okay, I'm not gonna stay on this long. All right, I don't feel like he's alive, you guys. I'm sorry to say this, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like he's alive. This is really sad. And this had to do with a female and another masculine. Okay. Yes, this happened happened where you were living at. Okay. Yeah, his father is very concerned here. Yep, the officer. The officer lied. I have 2 people watching me and 2 likes. And the officer came out in the 22. Yes, his father's doing his own investigation, but I'm telling you what happened to him, okay? Go to my part 1, and this is my part 2. There was an officer that was looked at as in high honor. Now, this can also be the age of the person that took his life, okay? 22. Okay, the officer's here. Okay, the officer said that he seen him at 11:30. This officer is lying. And they said that he went, they brought his phone back to the site. He went missing the day before. Okay, he didn't go missing that day. That timeline is off. That's a made up freaking timeline. Okay, the timeline is made up. And the father is very concerned. Okay. And 22 is showing me the officer. So I'm seeing this girl, whoever he was dealing with, okay, set his ass up. Okay, they've been watching him. Okay, just saying. And they wanted what he had. He found something. Okay. And he was hurt. He really loved this girl. Whoever this girl is, he really loved her, but she was false. She's shown up as the emperor. I think they found the car out in the desert. Yeah, they found the car out in the desert. They placed the car out in the desert. Okay. Days later after he went missing. Okay. So the female is false. Whoever female he was dealing with, she's false. Okay. She set his ass up. Okay. and a masculine was involved. Okay. Yes, it's Apache land. Yes. Unexpected income. Oh man. So I'm seeing the age. He is 24, which he would be what, 24, 25, 27. I'm seeing 27 here. These are the ages. So these numbers might mean something to his father if his father watches my page. Or if his father gets this. 25, 28. The officer was lying. The timeline is a lie. You guys, this timeline is a lie, okay? He found something, they wanted something from him, and he got into somebody else's vehicle, okay? Then they brought his vehicle back and they staged everything. And it wasn't no Apache that took him, okay? Wow, this is deep. Now, whatever company he was working for was a very wealthy company. Okay, I don't know much about this company, but it was very wealthy. Put it like that. Now, it's interesting because his mother and father is coming forward. Okay, yes, it's a cover up. Okay, this is a freaking cover up. Okay, they covered this shit up. Okay, yes, Phoenix, Arizona. They covered this up. I don't. Damn, 29. Where is his body? Is he alive? I don't believe he's alive. His mother and father showing up here in my read, and they're still alive. I don't believe his mother and father had nothing to do with this, okay? But they're showing up in my read. Yeah, he was, you guys, I don't feel like he's still alive. Let's see if I get one more card. I don't feel like he's not alive. I don't feel like he's alive, okay? I feel like they took him somewhere. Shit, this is deep. They took him somewhere. What am I seeing here? I'm seeing a body of water, okay? I wonder if he has something to do with his work. It did. This has something to do with his work and his relationship. It did have something to do with his work and a relationship. So they need to investigate his job because this is a cover up from his job. This is a cover up from this damn fake ass girl he was dealing with, okay? They need to give this girl a lie detector test. They need to give this company is a wealthy company, okay? May I say, a very wealthy company, okay? And they were watching him, okay? It did have something to do with his job because the occupation card came out. Now I'm seeing a water, and it's interesting. I'm seeing water, and I'm seeing the mountains, okay? 33. I'm seeing a body of water. Now, I don't know if there's a body of water on that land. He might even be on, they might put, let me see what I see here, you guys. Because I need to be accurate with this read, because they need to find him. At least his body, okay? Because this is crazy. This is a cover up. You guys, this is a cover up. The police officer, that came and said that he seen him at 11:30 was lying. He needs to be investigated. Okay. He was sent there to say that. Okay. Um, and he could have had something to do with his disappearance. Okay. Shit. I need to know where his body is. This damn girl. Yep. He's in a body of water. I feel like he's in a body of water, you guys. I don't even have to pull no cards here. Shit. Now there's water over there in Apache land. He's not alive. This is what I'm getting psychically. Shit. Damn. He was betrayed. And he felt something. Like, you know how you get this instinct, like something's not right, and like, oh shit. Okay. And they got rid of him. Okay. Yes, this had to do with his job, and it had to do with a female. Okay. This is very sad. I feel like he's in a body of water, you guys. I keep seeing water. Okay. And there's mountains where he was at. So they this is crazy. This is so crazy. You guys got to be careful out here. I mean, this is shit. This is crazy. He was fighting to the end. He was fighting. Whoever, what they did to him, he was fighting. Okay. Oh my God. He's in water. He's in a body of water. This is crazy. Okay. He's definitely in a body of water, you guys. He's not alive. Shit. Oh my God. This damn Empress. She had to make a choice. This is interesting. He had so much going for him. He did. And he has so many opportunities. He has so many choices here in his life. And he was so free spirit. I mean, and you got these hating ass people out here. All this sword energy. He found out something. He knew something. And he was trying to run and get away. And he couldn't. And this happened at nighttime. So the day they say he went missing is not the day. Okay. The day before at night is when he went missing. Okay. And he was trying to get away from these two individuals. There's two people in this. Okay. Shit. Yes, he was very smart and good looking. Yeah, he definitely seen something, found something. Oh my gosh. Whoo, Lord. Oh my God. Oh, he was always wishing to, he had dreams, you guys. He had dreams, he had aspirations. This is really sad. I feel like he's in a body of water. Okay, in a body of water. Shit. Oh my God. Now, will we get justice for this? I don't believe we'll get justice for this. Oh my God. Okay. I believe he had a white girlfriend. Okay, I'm going to say a blonde-headed white girlfriend. I keep seeing this blonde-headed girl. Okay, just saying. She he had so much going on in the background where he was like somebody just stabbing him continuously. Okay. This girl betrayed him. She was seeing his co-worker or his friend, I don't know, okay, having sexual intercourses with his friend, okay, and he felt betrayed. I mean, he had so much going for him. I mean, this is crazy. All he wanted to do was live out his dream, study rocks, study water, okay, and this wish did not come fulfilled. Okay, I feel like he's in a body of water. Okay, I don't know this body of water. There's mountains, so is there water over there where he was found? I mean, where the site was? Okay, because he obviously found something in the sites, at the sites. Okay, for this company, and he was running for his damn. He was running. Oh my gosh! And I see him naked. Okay, he is in a body of water, you guys. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. He is in a body of damn water. Oh my God. They took him, put him in another car, and humiliated him, made him get undressed. And I'm seeing somebody taking, oh my God, I don't even know if I want to say this. Oh, Jesus Lord. He's in a body of water. If they do find his body, he will have marks on his body. Okay. Damn, man. He's in a body of water. Shit. You guys, the ancestors were waiting for him. Okay, his ancestors were waiting for him. I want to start crying right now, but I'm trying to hold back. Okay, I don't cry in my reads. Okay, this is very sad. The ancestors were waiting for him. They crossed him over. Okay, shit. This is Mata, you guys. If you do a lot of spiritual work, this is sad. I don't want to start crying. I feel like, whoo, hold up, give me a minute. You know, he's my son's age. And he was doing something that he loved to do, and they covered this shit up. Okay. So their asses need to go the fuck to jail. Okay. The company that he was working for needs to be investigated. This girl that he was dealing with needs to be investigated. This is a complete cover up. Okay. He has crossed over. He is with the ancestors. Whew. They were watching him. Somebody felt like he owed them something. He didn't owe nobody shit. Okay? Shit. This man and woman is a white woman and a white male. Okay? That took his life. And he's in a body of water. And the ancestors were waiting for him. I don't know if they're going to find his body. All I know is water. So they need to search the area. And there's rocks. And it's somewhere in Arizona is where his body is, okay? And it's somewhere, I mean, that's Apache land. I mean, you can go out there and get lost. Okay, I'm getting hot. But they, this is my read I got on Daniel Robertson. Shit. The ancestors crossed him over. Okay. They need to investigate. This is a cover up. This is a cover up. It had to do with occupation. It had to do with a relationship. I don't know what this girl had to do. Like, did she call him, say something? I don't know. Okay. But there was a girl, okay, that he was involved with. She's false. And his job, this is a cover up. That police officer too lied, if he was a police officer, because he said he was a police officer. And that guy that said he was a police officer, he could have been the one that did this. Okay. There was somebody out there with him, some masculine. Okay. And the ancestors are here. Shit. All this boy wanted to do was live out his dream. And this freaking devil, these devil ass people. And they did this the night before. This wasn't the day that they said. No, I got 24, I got 23. This could be the age of the person, 26, 27. I got his age twice. I even got initials, you guys. Okay, I don't know if these initials will help with this case. I don't know. I got D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, I. What am I not seeing here? 2 people. Oh my God. He's in water. He's in a body of water. I don't know if there, Kate, is there water over there? Have you been over there? Is there water close by? Is there water? Let me see if there's water where he was at. I'm ending this, you guys. This is the read that I got on. I don't want to stay on this too long. On Daniel Robertson, the missing teepee. Okay, wherever there's water at, they need to look around that surrounding area in teepee. Okay, how far is that from where he... I need to find out how far is that from Buckeye, Arizona, Gili River. Okay, they need to search a body of water. Okay, a body of water. He's in water. Okay. He has crossed over and the ancestors have crossed him over. Okay, this had to do with his job and it has to do with a 5 miles. Okay. This had to do with his job and this had to do with a girl. Okay. And he is in a body of water. Okay. Shit. This is so sad. He did not have a chance here. Okay. Now, I keep hearing hate. I keep hearing it's not fair for all. It's very suspicious that his Jeep was over. They turned his Jeep over. Okay. They turned his Jeep over. And the timeline is wrong. So the father, it was the day before he went missing. It was in the day, they said it was the day before. So they said he went missing on June 23rd. He went missing on June 22nd. Yes, it was staged. This is a cover up. Okay. I'm leaving it right here, you guys. This is on Daniel Robertson And I hope and pray that that this case will be solved. Yes, it might be. Okay, that phone just went off confirmation. I don't know if this case will be solved, but I pray and hope that this case is solved. Okay. Um, I don't know. Because if he's in the water, who knows? Okay. But this had to do with his job. This had to do with he had false persons. Okay. A woman and a female. Okay. So they need to look in a body of water. This is crazy. All right, this is the read that I got on Daniel Robertson, you guys. I need to come back on. I have to do a read real quick on Joan Rivers. And this is the read that I got on him, okay? So I am sending you guys love and light, and this is crazy. Okay, these people need to be charged. They need to investigate the company he worked for. They need to investigate the girl that he was with. They need to investigate the guy that was the eyewitness that said he was a police officer. Okay. They need to investigate all of it. This was definitely staged. And when he left in another car. Okay. They took his car and brought his car back and turned his car over. Okay. So this was definitely staged, and he was definitely in a body of water. Okay. And he was trying to get away. He was fighting. I mean, this is crazy. Okay. And he had a lot of false energy around him. And I feel like he felt this, and the ancestors are saying they crossed him over. All right. This is my read that I got on Daniel Robertson, you guys. I'm sending you love and light. Love and light, my beautiful souls. Ashe.